Hey guys, this is my grandmother, aka my assistant, for the baking videos, and she's gonna explain her side of my childhood.
All right. Well,
So, what did I do
okay.
as a child?
Well, I'm going to start at the beginning since he really wants you to know what it was like for his grandparents to know that he was going to be born different than the other children. Um, we knew early before he was born that there was going to be something not quite normal with Kevin, but we didn't know what. And of course, when he was born and they told us that he didn't have a corpus callosum, it was pretty discouraging. So, as grandparents, we went out and we searched the internet high and low for other people who had an absence of the corpus callosum. And mostly they call it an agenesis of the corpus callosum because some people can be born with a partial one, but Kevin's is total. And actually, even though it was discouraging for children that had other issues besides the absence of the corpus callosum, those that had just that issue was pretty encouraging. We saw videos of people who were grown who had not known that they didn't have a corpus callosum until they were teenagers or something happened in their life that caused them to have an MRI. And so anyway, it was encouraging. So as Kevin grew and was able to hold his head up and sit up later than other children, but still could do it, we kind of felt like there were things that we could do to help him. And we pushed him a lot harder than his parents would. For instance, when he was learning to walk, the doctors had told his parents not to put him in a walker, that wouldn't help him. Well, I'm an old lady and I grew up in an age when were put in walkers and they were able to learn to walk and get around with it. And so that's what we did. Put him in a walker and he scooted all over the place and he learned to move his legs properly. When he was about 3, we put him on a tricycle, taped his feet to the pedals, and pushed him around in that tricycle. And then that made his legs learn how to move on a bicycle, up and down instead of just back and forth. And I guess you might say it's motor memory or muscle memory because he was able to ride it after a while himself without having his feet taped to the pedals. He learned to ride a bicycle. His dad, being a very inventive young man, got a big dolly of some kind and he made extra large training wheels. They stuck out about 3 feet from each side of the bicycle.
I was gonna say it was a bicycle with dolly wheels.
Yes.
Like some of like my grandmother and my grandfather, inside, called them hand truck wheels, which is what they're actually called, but I learned to know it as a dolly instead of a hand truck.
Anyway, he actually rode that bicycle with those huge training wheels on them, and it's not just the wheel size, it's actually the part that sticks out so that when you ride the bike and he's wobbling back and forth like this with no balance, it helped him learn. So as he did, his dad was really good about raising the wheels just a little bit, so he wobbled a little more till he got his balance. But one day at Thanksgiving, he was at our house, and his parents were coming over later, and we decided we'd take those training wheels off and see if he could ride by himself. And, as you do with any child, you run down the road behind him, holding on to the seat. But it didn't take Kevin 5 minutes to ride that bicycle by himself. And his parents were absolutely amazed.
I was going to say more or less shocked.
Yes. So as grandparents, while Kevin's been growing up, we've let him try things under severe supervision, of course, that his parents were really afraid to let him try for fear he would hurt himself. Now, did I get in trouble? Sure. His mom got upset quite a few times with me when I let him try something that she was worried he would hurt himself on. But we always watched him with great caution and let him try things that he wanted to try. And as a result, I think Kevin's grown up into a very nice, wonderful young man who can do many things, anything actually that he sets his mind to do, that people always said, oh, he'll never be able to do that. because of having an absence of the corpus callosum.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it's like being the grandparents of Kevin and with him growing up. Do you have any other questions
And
for me?
also, as an kind of sub thing, I have an interview Tuesday to with the same person company, but yet again I have an interview Tuesday or
Yes.
tomorrow, I should say.
Yes. Kevin is going to be moving away from me, much to my
Disappointment.
unhappiness. Yes. But within visiting distance, I can still drive a couple hours to see him. But anyway, he's moving, and although he's working at his job right now, the company that owns this particular store also has other stores in the location that he's going to. And on his own, Kevin has applied and received his phone interview, and tomorrow he's going for an in-person interview to see if he can transfer straight from the store he's at to this store where he's going. And I think he'll do just fine on his interview.
I think I already have the job, to be honest with you.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed and
Yeah.
we'll pray and hope that he does, because that would be a shame to leave a job that he does have and then go somewhere where he doesn't have one and has to start over. So anyway, that's Kevin's life as a little kid with Grandmom and Pop-Pop. We are his dad's parents, his mom's parents. What do you call them?
Mia and Papa, which I'm gonna do a separate video with them once I get down there and, you know, get everything situated. And it'll be the, same video, but with a different set of grandparents.
And I assure you that their viewpoint of Kevin growing up will be totally different from ours, because he's a doctor and she's pretty protective, as his mom is. So
I mean,
it will be different.
she's more protective than my mom, to be honest with you.
So anyway, that's Grandmom and Pop-Pop's perspective of Kevin growing to be the fine young man he is today.
Yeah. Well, I'll see y'all on the flip side. Hopefully you have a great day, and I'll see y'all later.
Bye.